I had a crazy idea when I sat down to write this video, and what follows is the result. There might even be a part 2. So what am I going to talk about? Words. Shalom, my friends. Yes, words. Words are more than a random assembly of letters. Here's an interesting thing. Hebrew has a word, davar, and it has 2 meanings, one of which is word, but it can also mean thing. Jewish sages used this duality of meaning to derive the teaching that words are in fact real things. I think these ancient sages were ahead of their time. Today, we are well aware that there is such a thing as verbal abuse, and we recognize that it can leave one emotionally scarred, just as physical abuse can leave physical scars. We all grew up with the saying, "Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me." Is that always true?
No.
Today, we know that although words cannot break bones, they can indeed cause real pain. This is the time of year when Jewish people are preparing for 2 major holy days, one of which is the Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur. On that day, the liturgy includes a long list of transgressions for which we as a Jewish community ask for forgiveness. If you were to read that prayer in its entirety, you would see that a great number of these potential transgressions are various forms of hurtful speech. However, let us not make the mistake of thinking that every word is a potential verbal landmine that can only do damage. Words also have the power to heal, to soothe, to reassure, and many other positive things. There's an old Jewish saying that words that are spoken from the heart of the speaker touch the heart of the listener. I love that teaching. When I talk to my audience each week, I try to speak from the heart. I can only hope that the old adage holds true and that what comes from my heart actually does touch yours. So this is part 1 of my message about words. Like a chainsaw, they can be enormously helpful when used with care, or do terrible damage when used carelessly, or worse, used with the intent to cause harm. But we will conclude today by focusing on the positive aspects of words. They can be powerful spiritual tools. They can bring us closer to God, to ourselves, and to others. So when you speak, choose your words with care. Each word contains the power to heal, so choose them wisely. May all your words rise and find their place to become a blessing. My friends, if you found this video worthwhile or maybe even entertaining, please do give it a thumbs up on YouTube. Share your thoughts on this subject in the comments box. And of course, consider subscribing to the Rabbi Study. All you have to do is click on my face right over here and ring that notification bell, or watch our last video by clicking on its icon right over there. As ever, until next time, Shabbat Shalom.